How's it going, guys? I am Matthias, and today is a pretty busy day for me. That is Amanda. I have forced to rest because she keeps attempting to overwork herself. So trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
You shall do no such thing.
What? Do no such thing what? What are you talking about?
Said you shall not force me to rest.
I will force you to rest. Right now she's got to cut my hair though,
Except
because...
you didn't bring up the
What?
chair.
Say it again?
You didn't bring up the chair.
Okay, well, I gotta go bring up the chair so she can cut my hair. Cutting my hair is the only thing I can't do myself, and if I were to do it myself, it'd probably end up looking like this. And we don't want that. So I gotta cut my hair, gotta run a couple errands, gotta actually put in the lighting system today because I'm sick of running around with lights every which way and having to turn it on and off switches that shouldn't be where they are. I don't know, that doesn't make any sense, but I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna all set it up. Everything needs to be set up, and then we need to finalize our orders for our final furniture so we can set everything up. We're kind of excited about this because over here, right by the piano, we're gonna have like a little reading nook. What was that? Did you hear that? I totally did hear that. It was mail. Mail's here for Matt and Amanda. It doesn't even say who this is from. Got a lot of stuff to do and gonna try and get it all done. Got the chair going up, get my hair cut, but if you guys are curious, in the previous video, we said we'd answer your questions. So later today, we're gonna be looking into all those questions and giving you some answers. So probably towards the end of this video. You ready?
I'm ready. It's evening time!
Evening
Yay!
time.
And we're off to do a bunch of errands. Because we've just done a lot of maintenance stuff. Well, he has. I did a little bit.
He mainly watched me and kept me company, but that's okay. I wanted the company.
Good. I feel better right now. I feel better now. I wasn't really feeling that good earlier.
Morning.
Yeah, I was having a really hard morning. But we're off to get some stuff for the house, just do errands, boring stuff, just boring adult stuff, you know.
Boring adult stuff.
Yes, and then we're gonna get some Chipotle, because who doesn't love Chipotle? And on the E. coli front, we're all good to go.
Yeah.
I checked the site, it was updated yesterday, and it was like, there's no E. coli in any of our stores or systems.
Anymore.
Yeah, so.
Didn't they have to shut down a bunch of stuff on the East Coast?
They voluntarily shut down, all the stores in that area.
Good for them.
Even though, 2 or 3 of them were the ones that had the cases.
Good for them.
Yeah, so.
Man, yeah, every time, I don't know, Chipotle, man, they seem like a really, level-headed, responsible company. I feel like they know they're accountable for their food, which is really cool. You don't see that with a lot of restaurants. A lot of food places typically are oh, don't worry about it. It wasn't us, it was a distributor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. All right, back home. This is the haircut that Amanda gave me. Not bad. I dig it. Thank you very much, baby. And she didn't have... You got back and you had a pretty bad spout of nausea, huh? Or sickness, I guess you could say. Wait, someone's calling me right now. FedEx. Maybe it's FedEx. Wasn't FedEx. FedEx is dropping the ball though, huh? They called me today and they're like, okay, cool, we'll stop by and deliver the package. And then just never showed up. Just never showed up. FedEx, why you keep dropping the ball, bro? Come on now. Ah! All right, anxiety and frustration out. How was your dinner?
It was good. They never give me enough rice. The guy put a pitiful amount of rice on it. I'm
well,
can I have a little bit more? And then he just put a tiny bit more.
Well, mine has rice. I haven't started mine yet, but you can have what's left over of mine.
I know. He always has rice left, but I go through and pick out the rice first and eat it.
Yeah. Was that your stomach?
No, that was the motorcycle.
Oh, that was I thought that was your stomach. Hey, don't look at me all crazy like that. One time your stomach sounded like it was screaming.
Yeah, it woke him up from a dead sleep.
All right, well, we're gonna enjoy some lunch, and then we're gonna answer some of your questions in the comments. Dinner. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do some questions right now. Are you ready, Amanda?
I'm ready.
Cool. Question for tomorrow's video. Silver Falcon Cosplay says, what are you looking forward to most when the baby's born? I think I'm looking forward to not ever sleeping, weird smells.
Changing poopy diapers.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Getting my body back.
Oh, like you're even missing your body right now.
Well, I don't want to be nauseous anymore.
Yeah, well,
So.
yeah, definitely. Amanda, how did you tell Matt you were pregnant? And congrats, says A. Johnson.
Well, ever since we started trying, I was like, I feel pregnant. And then after the first, 3 times that I wasn't, he's like, you always say that. And so...
That's true.
I waited a really long time to test to see if I was. And then when I found out that I was, I just showed it to him. And he's like, are you serious?
That's true.
He was all excited.
I was excited.
Was it at 6 in the morning?
Yeah, it was super early in the morning, and I was like,
Morning.
what? Question of the day. What color eyes do you think the baby will have? I think the baby's going to have brown eyes, or maybe hazel. I would imagine hazel eyes. I have blue eyes, and Amanda has hazel eyes.
But half of me has the genetic code for blue eyes.
No.
Yes.
Blue?
Yes.
Yeah, but blue is recessive.
I know. But there's for all of you science people out there that do those square things, with the recessive and dominant genes, that there is a chance for a kid to have light blue eyes. And I want a kid to have blue eyes. They're so pretty.
There is a chance that the baby will be born with blue eyes and then change into
That's true.
brown eyes.
But I'm sure they'll have lighter eyes, not dark brown, because mine aren't dark brown. But my sister's eyes are dark brown to the point where they look like they're black.
Andre B says, so you said you've been trying for months to have a baby. How did you know it was time to have babies? Well, it's really dependent on a bunch of different factors. For us, it was obviously about being able to support a child and being mentally ready to have a child. I don't know. I've always wanted kids, and Amanda's always wanted kids. And I think that it's a...
I've always wanted kids, but I didn't want kids right away. It's just you have to come to a point of realization in yourself, where there's no right or wrong time for other people to tell you when it's time for you to have a kid.
Whoa, that was confusing. What did you just say?
You can't let some people feel ready to have a kid at 22. Some people feel ready to have a kid at 30. You can't let other people.
Yeah, it just depends on your mental state. If you feel like you've done everything that you want to do before you have a kid, or if you don't really want to do many things besides have kids. I mean, people's goals and focus in life is vastly different. And I mean, a lot of people try to force other people to have kids because they're a certain age or they're together, and that's just kind of silly. If you don't want kids, don't have kids. There's plenty of kids in this world that aren't loved enough because their parents just were kind of pressured into it, or decided that oh, maybe having kids because that's the next step in a relationship or something like that. And these kids are now in houses that don't have, adequate love and compassion and attention. I think having a choice to have a kid is something that
it's just not about you. It's about the kid.
It's not about you. It's about bringing someone else into this world, and it's just something that we really wanted to do. We wanted to start a family. We wanted to, build our own experiences, and I don't know. That's just something that we wanted to do. The Golden Eagle Eye says, I have one question about natural birthing thing. This might sound stupid, but in natural birth, does she give birth in a house, or is it somewhere else that isn't a hospital?
So natural birth is more no medications, no prescriptions, no drugs, nothing Western medicine wise. You can still have a natural birth in the hospital or at your house or a birthing center, but it's just you don't have an epidural or a C-section or anything like that, or you're not induced. You just let the baby come when it wants to come, and then you just do it as natural as possible.
Yeah, as natural as possible.
Yeah.
What the body and the baby dictates, rather than what doctors and schedules dictate. Cookie Lover 2323 says, my question, do you plan on feeding the baby formula or breastfeed? Obviously, well, I guess not obviously, but if you're having a natural birth, one can assume that you want to naturally feed the child.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm hoping I can produce milk if this
Yeah.
is not TMI.
Yeah, exactly. If there's some inability to produce milk,
Yeah.
Formula is adequate, I guess the word could be, but it's not near as enriching or fulfilling for a child or the mother, or the relationship between the child and the mother.
Yeah.
There are so many factors with breastfeeding that is so important to a child and the mother that formula can't really replace, but it doesn't necessarily mean that formula
Is bad.
is bad.
I mean, like the baby gets a lot of your, what is it called?
Antibiotics or
Antibodies.
Antibodies. I was like, antibiotics?
Like strengthen the immune system and stuff
Strengthen
like that.
the immune system, exactly, stuff like that. What month will the baby be born in next year?
Next year at the end of July. Like my due date is July 26th, but it's at the end of July. It could come in August because with your firstborn, most of the time they're late. So you never know.
Brooklyn Bailey says, Amanda, your hair is getting so long, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I just thought
I'm
I'd
like
read
sitting
that.
over here thinking, maybe I should cut this like long mane of mine.
Pastel Magpie says, my question is, why is it that people think there's something wrong with me when I say I don't want a family? I think it's because they want a family, and a lot of people can't empathize. They can't empathize with anything other than themselves. And
Yeah, so
people don't, sorry, well, I'm not done. People don't understand things that they aren't aware of. So they've thought a certain way their entire life, and the fact that you don't think that way, they can't compute.
Yeah.
It's just a very dogmatic, viewpoint on life, and that's obviously dangerous, but go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say they haven't they've thought that their entire way and probably have been told that thing their entire life. So thinking from you that there's something else out there that doesn't include their point of view, it's kind of like it's sort of opening their eyes to it, but they're just like, how can you not think the way I'm thinking? Because this is how everyone's supposed to be thinking. This is what I've been told.
Yeah,
my whole life.
yeah, exactly. They think that their view is the view of everyone else.
Yeah, it's
And
kind
not
of like
that-
you have to walk in someone else's shoes. To
Yeah, well, you have to
understand.
be aware that you're not the only person with a viewpoint or perspective, and be hyper aware that your perspective might be completely wrong. And that's just something that I try to think about every single day, is that am I living my life the best possible way, And the best way to live your life is with an open mind, trying to understand new perspectives, new ideas, and
Just being
different
open-minded.
mindsets, and being very open-minded about how other people live their life, because they may have solved problems that you still struggle with.
And not just being open-minded in the sense that if somebody comes to you with something different than what you're thinking, don't automatically shut it out or shut it down.
Yeah.
Because you've never heard that before.
Claudia Golden says, how far along is Amanda? Also, how did you guys discover you were pregnant? How did Amanda tell Matthias? So we answered one of those already, but
I am 9 weeks today.
9 weeks today.
Yeah.
I love the big smile you had on your face when you said that.
Why?
Owen Smythe says, what was your very first reaction the moment you found out Amanda was pregnant? My reaction was just like, oh yeah, finally, because we've been
Really?
trying for a while. And then immediately after, I was like, whoa, this is the last day of that life. I just remember that hit me pretty hard, and that's hit me hard before, and it's not a negative thing at all. It's just something to be. It's just something that's crazy that only happens so many times in your life, and it's really cool to be aware of it. When you realize that day the moment that you're living in has altered the course of the rest of your life.
Yes, that is a very trippy way to think.
And I had that moment when I moved out, when I was unpacking all my stuff at my parents' house when I used to live there. I had that moment then, and I had that moment when I was marrying Amanda, and when you told me you were pregnant. So I've had like 3 moments like that where in that moment I recognized that the course of my life was changing right then and there. I've had a lot of moments where, you know, looking back on it, I could see how my life changed from there. Like when I got laid off and started YouTube.
But you didn't know.
But I didn't know in that moment that, like, wow, the rest of my life is changing right now, like those couple moments. So it was really, really interesting experience. Madeline Rose says, do you plan on getting any pets? If so, what kind of animal? When would you get one? What would you name him, her?
Well, we can't get one now because we are renting and our landlord doesn't like pets.
Yes, that is true.
So there's that. And we don't know like how long, you know, we're going to be renting or when we buy. So don't really have a timetable on that.
Okay.
But I want a cat. And I really want a Bengal cat.
Yeah, but I'm personally not a fan of inside pets. I'm a bit of a neat freak or a clean freak.
Well, this cat is like no shedding.
It's not about the hair though, babe. It's not about the hair. I have issue with parasites and fecal matter and, you know, the reality of pets that, you know, my personal opinion, you can have a pet if you want. Pets are fantastic. Pets are loving creatures, and
they make your day better.
They make your day better, and they will give you a sense of fulfillment. Yes, but I personally believe that animals belong in the wild.
I understand that.
I've seen so many pets that are just so sad because their owners work all day and they just sit home and are lonely.
Well, it's a good thing we work from home.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying, but I work though. I work. I can't give a pet attention like I'm going to give our child attention.
I understand.
I mean, obviously we're going to be a team in that, but what I'm saying is that like pets get lonely too, you know?
Oh, I know that.
And like pets can be depressed, and like I've seen it happen. And like that just makes me sad. Like if you don't have time for a pet, don't have a pet.
That's why sometimes if you work all day and stuff like that, you need to have 2 pets so they can interact with each other. And people don't think about that. They're just like, oh, 2 pets is too much. But in reality, they're like siblings. Like, you know, if you have 1 kid, an only child, they're usually alone all the time.
Yeah.
That's why you need to get 2 pets. Pets will always come and just sit next to you, lay on you, just give you a little extra love. And
that's true. And the reason why I say that about like the clean freaks and stuff like that, not the clean freaks, I'm the clean freak. What I'm saying about pets is that like when I did a parasite cleanse once and it wasn't fun.
I did one too, but mine was the homeopathic one that you can give babies, and I had no pain.
Yeah, well that's really awesome, but I just remember seeing my blood and having it filled with parasites because we had an animal.
Yeah, but your parents have an animal now.
It's crazy how many parasites. Well, I'm everyone has parasites, but what I'm saying is the sheer amount of parasites and the variation of different types of parasites versus someone who has a pet inside versus someone who doesn't.
Yeah, I get that.
Parasites, if you guys aren't familiar with, are little organisms that leech off your body. And basically,
sometimes they can make you sick.
Well, they can make you sick and they can drain your energy.
Yeah.
A lot of people are asking this question, is there a certain sex of the baby that you're hoping for? And my answer to that is no. Obviously not.
We just want to be healthy.
Yeah, we just want a healthy baby.
I remember though when we were talking about having a kid, and I was like, well, what if we have a little boy? And you were like, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
But then you were like, what if we have a little girl? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah. Wait, when was that? That was like 5 years ago.
No, that was like 5 months ago.
Oh, 5 months ago?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh yeah, because little boys, man. They cray. I was a little boy.
They cray cray.
They cray cray.
I don't know. I was a nanny for 2 boys, and they weren't crazy.
There was a question in here that I read earlier and I didn't get to, and this will be the last question. And I'm so sorry for whoever asked it because I couldn't find it, so I can't find your name. The question was, what is your biggest fear after you have a kid? Like, what is your biggest fear as a parent?
Failing.
Too broad. You're obviously not going to fail. You're going to be a fantastic mother.
I don't know.
The thing
what's
the thing that scares you the most? The thing that scares me the most is the physicality of having a kid. Like, the thing that scares me the most is their safety. Their physical safety. Because I feel like I'm confident with myself and my abilities, and I'm sure it's going to test both of us, our relationship, and, you know, each of us personally about, you know, what it takes to be a good parent. But I think, honestly, we're really, really strong in that. We have a lot of love and compassion, and we have a lot of guidance from so many other people in our family, that the only thing that scares me is just, you know, like a kid running out in the street or falling off a cliff. I seriously have nightmares. This is one of the... I haven't told you.
I think we're ever going to be in that situation where a kid's going to fall off a cliff?
Babe, this is a fear. Fears are irrational.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is that, like, I haven't been sleeping the past month because, like, I have this fear, or I have this nightmare that, like, I'm walking Bella along near a cliff and she just jumps off of it. And I wake up terrified every night.
So sad.
I don't know why. But that's a fear.
Get that fear out of your head.
That's a fear. Well, that's why I'm communicating it. I'm expressing it because I'm sure that other people are scared of the same thing, or, you know, can help me through it. That's what this whole thing is. And we have you guys, obviously, who are so many people are probably just going to be like, "This is how you should do it." But yeah, what about you? No fear?
I haven't actually thought about fears.
Good.
Or anything negative.
Good. Here's a key point, and this is what we'll end out the video on.
I don't want to wake up with morning sickness tomorrow.
Here's a key point, and one that you should live your life by, and something that's really helped me be successful in my career, in my relationships, you know, the relationship with my wife and everything, is don't make decisions based on fear. Unless it's like a physical fear. Like, should I jump off this cliff or not? Yeah, okay, don't jump off the cliff because it's going to hurt. But I'm talking about inward fears. I'm talking about, like, fears of being rejected, fears of
not getting the job, or
just, like, honestly, fear of rejection, really.
Yeah.
So many people base their entire life choices on fears of failure, fears of not being rejected, and you miss out on so much. And I don't want to base any of my choices on fears, and, you know, I want to communicate that to you guys, so maybe some of you guys can take something away from that. So
I agree.
Guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to see more Q&As, this kind of really chillax style, give this video a like. Let us know down in the comments below.
Our question of the day for you is, what do you do to get rid of your fears?
That's an interesting question.
Emotional or, like, physical.
Overcoming fears.
Yeah.
How do you overcome your fears? That's a heavy question. I'm not sure many people have. I don't know what I would do to overcome. Well, I'd have to think about that. Maybe that's for a different video. All right, guys.
High five?
I forgot where I was going with that. I'm tired. High five.